Take two. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of We the People. We're the people coming for the truth, baby. Welcome back to another episode. Yeah, I told you I was coming back with another video. Okay. Let's get this all set up and get ready to go. We got a couple of our boys here, right? Let me see. I kind of let me go here real quick. Hold on a second, and we go back here. Here's what I wanted to show y'all. So first, let's bring our great governor, right? And I mean, we ain't really got to go too far back, right? But let's go let's go.
Chief of the Maryland National Guard. I know what they're trained for. I know what we train them on. And municipal policing is not one of those things. And so I just find
That's false. That's false. Our troops are trained to police overseas as well. What do you think they did in Iraq, Afghanistan, right? So for him to say that is very disingenuous.
it deeply disrespectful to them and to their family members.
But if you say that it's not working or it.
Hey guys, do me a favor real quick before we get into this video all the way. Hit that subscribe, like, and share. Join the community. Be part of the family, and I really appreciate it. We're climbing the charts high on our subscriber count. We are now up to I don't know. Let me see. There you go. 3,200. That's wrong. No, that's right. 3,221 subscribers. That's where we're at so far. You see where we're at, working on getting to the views that we need, 634,352, and then we got 354 public watch hours as well. So we're at 6% and 8%. We're working on getting to 100% of them. So I need y'all's help. I'm asking you guys, share, like, and subscribe to this video. Help it get up into the algorithm. Man, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Thank you.
It's not sustainable. We're seeing the results from what is happening in Washington, D.C. How can you argue that it's not effective?
I would love to have a serious conversation with the President of the United States or members of his administration about this. And to say that, that if we want to talk about, okay, here's capital, here's money. How would you use it? And what do you think is the most effective way to use it in the city of Baltimore or in the state of Maryland? I can give a full list of.
You've had that chance, Westmore. You're so full of shit. You've had that chance, Westmore. You've had the chance to make Baltimore safe. Joe Biden was your boy. He gave you anything you want. You had a $5 billion, we'll call it billion, not trillion, a $5 billion surplus when you came in, which meant that was free money. And that's exactly what you heard. Free money. You don't care about the American people, bro. You don't care about Marylanders. You care about you and your pocket. That's it. I don't know how Westmore got voted in, but whoever voted him in, the people that voted for him, y'all are stupid as shit.
Of things that I would love to be able to work with them on. What they can do whatever they want in Washington, D.C. But in Maryland, in our state, I believe that we can have a real core strategy to work together to be able to utilize federal supports to kind of continue driving the kind of results, the encouraging results that we're seeing. But that's not what we're hearing from the White House right now.
If the White House is offering federal assistance in the form of law enforcement, which
Sorry,
could
guys.
include FBI and ATF agents, if that's what you're asking for, why not have that conversation?
I'm ready to have that conversation right now.
But do you think having the back and forth and having this criticism with the president on national television and on social media is going to have that conversation unfold?
I'm not interested in having a back and forth with the president. This is not personal between me and the president.
You called him President Bone Spurs.
No, what this is I'm going to fight for my people.
Nah, Westmore. You're so full of shit, bro. You made it personal. You kissed his ass when you was in front. Oh, Mr. President, Mr. President, oh, sir. You kissed his ass when you was in front of him, bro. And as soon as he turned his back and he went in front of you, you ran your mouth about that man. Oh, bone spurs. You wish you could do the things that he did, bro. That's why y'all are so hateful, because you can't get done what he can get done. You can't even be a quarter of the man that he is, Westmore. And you know it. You know it. And that's why it bothers you the way it does, because you will never be as good as Trump. And you'll never be president like Trump was.
And when I'm hearing attacks on our state and on our state's largest city, things like hellhole and hellscape and deathscape.
Bro, get over yourself. It is. It is. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? What do you want to see? What part don't you believe? Huh? What part don't you believe?
Yeah, I'm good. Which one? Good weed. Oh, no, I'm good. Shot, big push up. Got pussy out way, whatever you need. What? Got the phone, come back. Keep going back. Yeah.
You see that house right there on the corner, though? That's up on Federal Street, right? That corner house right there. I used to sleep in the second floor of that corner house. It didn't have windows. That house has been boarded up like that for like 12 years, right? I've been clean for 9. Before I got clean, I went to prison. I was living up here and I was walking around copping every day. But that house right there, I was sleeping in on the second floor, right? And on the second floor, when it would snow, the snow would come in the windows and there's a hole in the roof. It would come in. It was packed with snow when I woke up one morning. So, yeah, it was the closest spot. Don't believe, hey, closest spot to the dope hole. That's exactly where the dope fiend's going to go. That's why it's so dang. You know how many dead bodies are in these houses? You know how many dead people are in them houses? If you have homicides and they're missing, or you got missing person reports and don't know if they're dead yet, they need to check those houses. That's the grim reality of Baltimore because they will take you straight up in the house if they think you're a rat or stole drugs or anything like that. If they thought he was recording, they walk him right up in one of them abandoned houses and blow his brains out. That's the harsh reality of it. That's the streets of Baltimore. And that's what Westmore, for some odd reason, does not want to stop. And I don't get it. I don't get Westmore. I don't get it. If you go back to Westmore, that's what he talks about.
When I'm seeing what's already happened from this administration, where we have now watched FEMA funding eliminated for Western Maryland, despite the fact that we hit and exceeded every single criteria for
That's wrong. FEMA has been cut for the United States. And why? Because they stole FEMA money and they gave it to the illegal immigrants. That's why FEMA was taken away. Be honest, Westmore. FEMA wasn't taken away because of no nonchalant. It was a reason. Remember North Carolina? That remember when uh they had what was it, a hurricane? I think it was something came through there and they were displaced. They were sleeping outside tents in the winter a year after it happened because FEMA decided that they was going to walk by houses that had Trump supporter signs in it. This was before the election. And there's still people down there, Republicans right now, that are displaced that still have no home to live in. That's why FEMA was eliminated.
federal disaster relief, when we've seen how the President of the United States has fired now over 12,000 Marylanders who are federal workers, which, by the way, is the largest number of firings we've seen anywhere in the country. And that does not include our government contractors, and that does not include uniformed personnel.
First of all, uniformed personnel was not fired unless they were part of the transgender DEI agenda. That's it. They were dismissed. And ones that were dismissed because they didn't want to go with it during the Biden administration were rehired, Westmore. In case you didn't want to mention that, I'll mention it for you. Don't worry.
We have seen how the President of the United States has cut a $250 million from rural health care and now has pushing close.
Oh, wait, Westmore. What did he do? Cut $250 million from healthcare? No, he took illegal immigrants off of healthcare. That's what he did. And he said, all you lazy ass turds that want to sit around and sell drugs and destroy our neighborhoods and think that you're going to collect welfare and Medicare off of the backs of hardworking Americans. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Is that triggering, Westmore? Does that trigger you? I don't give a shit. Make our streets safe again, Westmore. Try doing that once. Try taking us back to some safe streets, Westmore. Huh? What you doing for this state, Westmore? This video was taken 2 days ago. What you doing for our streets? Huh? Labor Day weekend. Let's find out how many people get killed over this weekend in the streets of Baltimore. See the lights? The police lights? Not even on. Let's take this back a little bit right quick. I want to show y'all something. See these lights right here? These lights right here? That's a police light. Those lights are supposed to be on at night. But they probably busted all the lights out of them. It's 4 big lights right there, halogen lights, and they probably busted the light bulbs out so it would stop shining and, letting the police know what they're doing. It's supposed to be 4 lights and a camera on it. And they put them in drug-ridden neighborhoods and, parking lots like store parking lots, grocery store parking lots, stuff like that. We on hold, yo. We on hold, yo.
Around 250 million Marylanders to lose their health care. So yes, I do have a deep problem in the fact that I feel like the federal government, that our state is under attack from the federal government. But if the president of the United States at any time,
he needs to attack this state. This state needs to aggressively be attacked. This state, Iraq, Texas, Louisiana, need to aggressively be attacked. And all this lawlessness needs to be eradicated somehow, Westmore. And you're not doing it. And you're not going to do it because you're weak. You're weak. You cross your legs, bro. You cross your legs, bro. You cross your legs, bro. Right there. You see him? I mean, it kind of jammed up on me a little bit there. But you cross your legs, bro.
Reverse course. In fact, I encourage him to do that. Still, we take these threats seriously and we find ourselves in a position where let me start by saying this. I do not take this executive action lightly. I would have preferred to work in a more collaborative approach. I would have preferred to do the work with our allies in City Council to pass legislation ultimately. And we were doing that. We were doing just that. But some of the leaders who we are working with are standing behind me today. But unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of time. We have received credible reports that we have days, not weeks, before our city sees some type of militarized activity by the federal government. It is unclear at this time what that will look like exactly. We may see militarized immigration enforcement. We may also see National Guard troops. We may even see active duty military and armed vehicles in our streets. We have not called for this. Our people.
He hasn't called for this. He hasn't called for this, y'all.
You think I'm batting at our own play? We get blood for that J, trying to move my mom in a brand new place. We came from hooping an alley on crates and the stool trying to make a way, but I don't want to leave without my Drake. My cousin died, they thought it was funny. We hopped in traffic and called it chase. Now CEO, he don't know how to act. Get off the yank and paint like Shaq. I can't.
All right. So these are the videos that we get from Chirac, right, on YouTube. These are the videos that we get from young men who are misguided. A room full of young men, and every one of them are armed to the T. Every one of them. And not one of them will hesitate to kill you dead. But he hasn't asked for these troops.
Remember when we had a real bang out, hit a nigga block down, wanna shoot back, pop a nigga head, trying to see where it's at, hopped out Q50 and jumped in the scat. Ain't nobody in here got a license, we used to pull over, but now just scratch. In Chirac, you need a switch, don't got one, that mean you ain't no shit. Don't gotta check that when I slide, cause I know somebody hit. Everybody masked up like Corona, the difference is that we ain't sick. Riding in traffic with auto drills, aka they call them wick. 10 nigga down, there's no discussion, he had that 5.
That's where we're at.
People have not asked for this. But nevertheless, we find ourselves having to respond to this. Let me be absolutely clear. Although we believe
Let's be absolutely clear. Brandon Johnson never asked for this. He doesn't want help with this. He just wants to let his people continue to kill each other at record numbers. But Brandon Johnson never, ever, ever asked for this. He does not want the help because I want to believe that he may be in danger if he does that. But all I can say, Brandon Johnson and Westmore, is that the two you may not be left with an option. You just may not be left with an option. They glorify it all over YouTube. 300 Breezy's just got locked up. Who cares about 300 Breezy, bro? He's a gangbanger. So what? It's about time we fix our streets. It's about time that we have a president that's willing to step up and do the things that need to be done to fix our streets. And guys like Brandon Johnson and Governor Westmoreland, they're not the people to handle it. We need real men in this office. We need real men to step up and handle this. And these are not the guys to do it. Soft. Very soft. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Hit that like, share, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And especially if you agree with the video. And leave me some comments. Tell me what you think. You think that, do you like Brandon Johnson for Chicago? Do you like Westmore for Maryland? I mean, are you happy with the job they're doing? Or do you agree with Trump? Put National Guard in the states. They're defying the federal government anyway. They're just letting these people run wild in their states. They ain't doing nothing about it. Police just sitting around with their lights on, not doing nothing. Maybe we need the federal government to step in and use the Insurrection Act and make it happen. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, and I'll get straight back to you. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great one. I love y'all. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. We the people, where the people come for the truth. I'm out.